Dámy a páni, vítam vás pri pokračovaní našej Let's Play série na hru Kingdom Come Deliverance. Ako vidíte, trošku sme sa ocitli uprostred útoku, takže musíme rýchlo zdrhnúť. Poď. O bože, tá stamina. Presne tak. Trošku načerpáme, trošku si nohu dolámeme, ale okej. Máme ten meč? Máme. Neviem, či sa mi to podarí. Okej, nasadaj. Ideme. Kurva fix. Poď. Poď. Wow. Skovaj tú zbraň. Presne tak. Dobre, hra uložená. Lukas strelec na obzore. No, trošku sme dostali šíp do stehienka, takže teraz musíme vydržať celú cestu. Aha, už ideme. Rýchlo. Ako skovám ten meč? To je asi jedno. Krvácení, dobre no. Bože, tieto zákruty. Pomoc. Pozor. Au. Kam všade mi zapichli ten šíp ešte. Počkaj, doľava, že? Pozdĺž rieky. Tak. Poď. Skok. Výborne, koníček. Tá zelená... Do keľu. Zelená čiara je vlastne stamina toho koňa. Pozor. Tak idú najmä po nás, ale zabíjajú každého. Práve vidíme, ako sme si dochrámali obidve nohy. Smíšci kríž. Pozor. Kurva. Idú po mne stále. Pozor. Poď. Nezastavuj. Koníček, poď. A do keľu. Musíme to trošku... Jaj, cez tieto kríky sa nedá ísť. Rýchlo utekaj, chlapče. Koník ide. Poď. Ja neviem, či mi to vydrží. Poď. Hlavne, že máme meč, ale nevieme s ním ísť. Poď. Už len kúsok. Parádička.
Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose! Hajo! Husum Kinder!
Prečo ani raz netrafili? Šťastie, že títo mi nezavreli rovno pred nosom. Vyťahnite mi prosím ten šíp z nohy.
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you, and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from SKALIC. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Yeah. Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
I don't know.
Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that hair out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Díky.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Poskackáme na jednej nohe a o chvíľu budeme v pohode. Havino.
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above SKALIC. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned SKALIC to the ground, but a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
SKALIC is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the SKALIC blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
No, takže sme v Talmberku. Čo tu máme? Divíš. Nová miesto, tvá postel. OK. Aha, to nemôžeme. Takže ideme sa tu trošku porozhliadnúť. Na to, že sme zranení, tak beháme fakt super. Dobre, takže ukáž. Wow. Už sa nám pekne rozrastla tá mapa. My sme začínali tu na. A vlastne aj sa nám odkryla, že rovná. A teraz Talmberg. Môžeme ísť pokecať s Borkem. Božek.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
Okay.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes.
Mám ísť za tebou?
I can't
Áno.
understand why he'd waste his talents, but
Ukáž mi tú
I'm sure
super
he has
kuchyňu.
reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Dobre, no. Dá mi niekto najesť? OK, vyskočila som na stôl, ale nevadí.
Ah, milady. You are fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
To si píše som.
How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master?
Young
Here you are.
master. OK.
Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Hotový luxus tu máme.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Something to eat.
Dáme si pečenú kachnu. Daj to sem. Aha. Z každého si vezmeme. Tak. Počkaj, jak bol inventár. Jídlo. Ečko. Daj to sem. Dobre. Nezývaj mi tu. Tento tu bude stále zývať, podľa mňa. Ideme sa trošku vyspať. Počkaj, ja to som taká unavená? OK. Už idem. On mi tu zaspí vo lade. Po ceste. Tak. Počkaj. Že by sem. Ja neviem, kade mám ísť. Zase idem úplne inam. A čo sem? OK, tak to nie. Bože, kde som to vliezla zase? Som úplne unavená a ja vleziem niekde, kde nemám ani byť. A trošku mi to potrvá, kým si na to zvyknem. Oh. Musí sa nám doplniť stamina, lebo však... O bože, čo robíš zas? Či tuto môžem ísť? Počkaj, mapu som chcela. Asi hore. Do komory. Počkaj, nevidím. Tak asi tam, jak som bola, tam som tiež videla posteľ. To síce posteľ není. O, tak ty si mi. Aha. Upsík. Súkromný pozemok. Nie. Nemám paklíč. Tak.
This bed is probably taken. I'm supposed to go and sleep in
Aha.
the chamber.
OK. Pardon. Tak a kde je komora?
Hey,
Čo je? O, pardon.
Hey, what the hell
I'll have to get something to eat.
Sorry.
Starting to get hungry.
Ja sa to nemôžem, že neviem, kam mám ísť spať. Tak počkaj, dáme si ešte niečo na jedenie. Dobre. Nemala som sa náhodou vyzuť. Zaujímavé. To je najrýchlejšie plynutie času, aké tu bolo, okrem zaklínača. No, som akože zvedavá, keď tu budú questy. Čo bude s nami?
Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Mala som sa vyzuť. Upsík.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to. But to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you, but I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world. Although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Powiemy jej o
You might be
tom.
right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. A fellow by the name of Kunish owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunish had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
Koniecznie úspech.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzik.
Aha, to keľu, počkaj.
I'd been secretly learning sword fighting and hiding it from my parents. So when we assembled the sword, I tried a few moves with it. There's a big difference between a wooden sword and a real one. Maybe if I hadn't taken that sword in my hand, I wouldn't be here today.
You're full of surprises.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
Ježiš, ďalší quick time.
A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz. Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And then I saw him knocking down one Cuman after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I no longer heard any sounds of battle coming from the castle, so Sigismund's army must have regrouped and started preparing for siege.
No doubt you're right.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
I could do with a book.
Move in, people! Come on! Come on! We're running out of time! Quickly! We have to close the gates! You can't go back!
Henry, help us!
Help us, son. Don't be a coward.
No, začínajú nám nočné mory.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Ešte máme nejakých 5-10 minút do konca. Takže by sme to mohli stihnúť. Uá. Tak. Môže mi sa aj tento? Pochodeň, jasné. Počkaj, ja kde je pochodeň? Môžem si to zobrať? Popravde moc toho nevidím. Tak ale... Aha! Bože. Tak a kde si ho... Počkaj, zbranie. Lúč. Dobre. Kade to mám ísť? Otočka.
Not that I'm spoiling for a fuck.
Dobre, idem. Uvidíme. Dobre.
God be with you. What's happening? Have you heard anything?
No. It could be Sigismund's army, or his scouts, or maybe Scarlet's folk who survived the pillaging. I wouldn't expect nothing good. Take care now.
Tak to sú dobré blesky toto. Aby...
My respects to you.
What's happening? Have you heard anything?
No. It could be Sigismund's army
No, ty
or
mi
his
povieš to
scouts,
isté.
or maybe Scarlet's folk who survived the pillaging.
Jože niečo nové mi povieš. Tak. Počkať, kade mám ísť? A dalo sa s ním pokecať? Veď. Aha, tu tento je.
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmud in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Divish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And so Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
Good luck to you.
Halt! Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Robber?
Sir Ansig. What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzik, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left the storming of the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to SKALIC.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people, too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a short way to Ratai now!
Men, tonight we'll have triple patrols. Sort out the watches between you as always.
Dobre, takže sme na konci, trošku sa nám to predĺžilo vďaka dialogom, o ktoré tu asi núdza nebude. Takže ja pôjdem ešte natočiť jednu kapitolu, lebo fakt som zvedavá na túto hru, začalo ma to aj baviť a všetko. No a uvidíme sa teda čo najskôr, sa pokúsim obidve časti vydať a dúfam, že sa vám páči let's play a nezabudnite ma podporiť a takisto budem vďačná za odber. Takže ešte raz vďaka a nazdar.